Folks, this one plant right here needs to be a staple in your garden. This is the plant that's going to give you, that's not going to die. It's going to give you abundant food and abundant seed to replant out. And it's just so low maintenance. I haven't hardly touched this plant and it is going absolutely wild, putting on at least 3 feet of growth each day. That is mind-blowing. And of course, I'm talking about that bad boy right there. That is a Seminole pumpkin. And if we zoom out a little bit, all of this is Seminole pumpkin, and it's all one plant. But wait, there's more. Okay, we got another immature pumpkin here. That one over there is mature. Another one hiding in the bushes. Another one hanging in the bushes. And I think there's even some, oh, there's a little tiny one right there. Hasn't even bloomed yet. And this Seminole pumpkin is just climbing up into this hedge, and it's gonna make it around to my front yard here pretty soon. I think before we get another freeze, it will for sure make it to the front yard. All right, so why is this such an awesome plant? For one, it is extremely resilient. It has a really unique ability to root anywhere, well, along the vine. And so as it's crawling around, it's putting new roots down along the way. So it has the ability, because it has more contact with the ground than most other plants, it has the ability to have roots in the ground, which is essentially diversifying its location, which is amazing, because if it's in one spot sucking up water and sucks it dry in that little area, well, this plant is pulling water up from a large area. I mean, this plant has gone at least 20 or 30 feet, and that's including runners that are going along with each other. Total feet, I bet you it's over 100 feet of actual runners. Now, the other reason it is such an awesome crop is because the pumpkins themselves are extremely storable. They're regularly stored for over a year. So when we grow these and harvest them in the fall, yeah, we can eat them throughout the winter, we can eat them the next summer, even the next winter. And so that is a highly valuable trait for something if you want to be eating consistently, because a lot of produce, it's ripe, you got to eat it or preserve it right then, and then it goes bad. However, this, you harvest it, you set it on a shelf, and you can eat it whenever you want, basically. You know, don't wait 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years. But some of these pumpkins have been known to last over a year. That's just wild. All right, the other awesome trait about this pumpkin is that right in here is a cavity full of seeds, and it has big seeds, and you can roast them and eat the seeds as well. But each pumpkin is giving you probably at least 100 seeds to replant for the next year. And so, and then all this up here in the kind of the top part, that's all going to be flesh. So it's giving you food and then seed for the next year, and plenty of seed. And so when you have lots of seed, that means you have a higher diversity of genetics. And so with these, so you can plant all these seeds and you're getting a bunch of different genetics. So your odds of getting a highly productive plant go way up as you're able to plant lots of seeds. So one of the other great traits is that this plant is highly competitive. You can see back here, it's actually overcoming the lawn. There's not a lot of weeds underneath, and it's suppressing any competitive pressure from other plants. I even had to, back over here, I had to cut some of the runners off because it was overtaking my watermelon. And watermelon's a pretty aggressive plant that overtakes, but nothing that I know of can compete with the Seminole pumpkin. And what's funny is, not only is it taking over grass, starting to take over my watermelon and sweet potatoes, is it's overtaking this hedge right here. It's climbing the hedge, and it has little tendrils, and it's awesome at climbing. And so I'm gonna let it climb. And at some point, it may completely overtake this hedge, which honestly, this is some kind of ornamental hedge that I don't give a crap about. So if it overtakes it and totally outshades it, I would be perfectly fine with that. However, I'm not too worried, because a lot of these ornamental plants are extremely hardy, and they can they can survive and thrive in a wide range of environments. So even if it's not getting that much shade, it will probably still survive, and it'll make it through the winter once the pumpkin dies. The other amazing thing about this plant is that it is proven for this area. And so what I mean by that is, this is a Native American Seminole pumpkin that has been grown right here in this area for hundreds of years. And so when something is able to last for hundreds of years, that means it's proven. The genetics are specifically suited, and the genetics are dialed in for this environment, for this climate, and for this soil type. And so when you plant something like this, you know it's going to be resilient because it has hundreds of years of proof showing that this plant is not going to fail in this environment. So that's something I always look for when I'm growing something, is I don't want to put a bunch of work and break my back just to grow a few pumpkins. And so I'm going to choose a pumpkin that grows well over my own personal preference, because at the end of the day, my preferences can be changed easily. And personally, I prefer actually producing something very easily over a slight difference in the taste. And this is my first time growing Seminole pumpkin, so I've never had one, and one day we'll do a taste test this fall probably. And that pumpkin in there, I've heard they taste a lot like butternut squash, and if it tastes anything like butternut squash, I know I'm gonna love it, because my mama didn't raise no picky boy. She raised a man that will take whatever is grown or given to me or produced for me and be really grateful for it. So that's the way I look at this. And I think that's one of the big problems in gardening, is people are valuing their preference over the preference of their environment. Their environment prefers to grow certain things, and if that's at odds with you, you're gonna lose every single time. So I like to align my preference with my environment's preference, and my environment prefers to grow these Seminole pumpkins. And you can see that, look at all that greenery. That's just incredibly amazing, going all the way up this hedge. I just can't believe, I can hardly believe that it is doing so well. It's just, I come out here and I'm amazed every single day. So we'll end this video with a shot of a different part of the garden, and we've got a little zebra longwing fluttering around the passion vine. But I appreciate you guys watching this, and I would encourage you to think a little deeper and a little harder about what types of plants you're growing. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this all made sense to you, and that you take the information you've learned today and that you apply it, so that you can also have a highly productive garden and not one of these weak brown gardens that the summer is just going to kill. So y'all have a great day. Goodbye.